I'm Wiseman Lumkile Nkuhlu, educated at the University of Fort Hare, and I went to the University of Cape Town in 1975 to do the CTA. I passed the CTA, and the following year I wrote the Public Accountants and Auditors Board to become the first Black African chartered accountant in the country. As far back as 1965, it had dawned on me that education is the instrument that will open a better future for me. In 1963, that's the time that the African Unity was formed. So we're reading about these challenges every day. The question was, how were these economies, newly liberated countries, going to run the economy if they had no educated people? So the importance of education really became very clear to me, that in South Africa, as we strive for our own freedom, we must really prioritize education. It was in that context that when I became aware that there were no Black Africans who were chartered accountants in the country, I said, we must break those barriers. I must do something to show that with the proper support and opportunities, Africans can achieve whatever others have achieved. So what happened really was that around 1974, at that time I was serving my articles in East London in the Eastern Cape. And I got invited by the University of Fort Hare to a public lecture that was going to be delivered by Professor Leon Krisinger, who was the head of accounting at the University of Cape Town at the time. He was a visiting professor to University of Fort Hare. Then I got an invitation to attend this lecture. At the end of the lecture, I was introduced to him, and the head of accounting department at Fort Hare briefed him on my performance as a student, and that now I was studying with UNISA, and I was on the verge of giving up because it's very difficult to study part-time. Krisinger on the spot said, with the grades that you got in your third year, invite you to come to my department, to come to my CTA class next year. I said, how can that be? I'm still owing this course. He said, come to my department. We'll make a plan. That interest in students with potential and going out of his way to make it possible for me to go to the University of Cape Town, I was very grateful for that. To me, that left a very positive impression about the attitude of the senior people at the University of Cape Town. So I went there in a very positive mind. So getting to University of Cape Town at that time, I was not young, but I worked before, so I was a little bit older than the students. But that was not the only challenge. The other challenge was that there were only 2 Black students in the class. I think the class may have been 75 or 100. And when you are in an environment like that, it takes quite a lot of, self-mastery for you to say, I'm in this environment, I'm a minority here. And people looking around may say, what do you want here? Because no one of your background has actually been to UCT and managed to complete a CTA diploma. You'll appreciate that 1975 was at the peak of apartheid, and the Black conscious movement had just reawakened, especially students. There was a lot of questioning of the status quo, especially by Black students. So getting to Cape Town, to be admitted, to have to get the special permission of the Minister of Bantu Affairs to be on campus. We did this as defiance. We said, okay, if that's what it takes, let me go and get this permission, and I'm going to show them what I'm capable of. The universities have actually been very progressive in opening up and taking measures to make it possible for black students, especially students from poor backgrounds, to register at the University of Cape Town and also give them support to succeed. And it's a question now of just making sure that students, especially coming from poor backgrounds, have the necessary support in terms of finance in particular. Because one of the things that, in my view, can continue to be a handicap to make it difficult for black students to choose Cape Town is the question of resources, not being able to afford the fees. So for me, it's very important that the University of Cape Town continues to play an important role in making sure that as many black students as possible are given financial support to afford to study at that university. I've also tried my best to really support others who aspire to be chartered accountants like myself. And I just hope that my endeavors to be a good role model will serve as an inspiration to others. Because as professionals, really, it's very important that we should forever always be mindful of the fact that, yes, we must be competent and be at the cutting edge of knowledge and expertise in our professions. But equally important, we must always behave and act with integrity and honesty. And thirdly, care for others, empathy. So I hope I have tried to demonstrate these values in my own life. If that could be some of the things that those who look to me for leadership can also be inspired by those values and principles.